Welcome back to another episode of Watching the Game. A very sad Monday. I'm here joined with Idrees and Yunis.
What do you mean sad? What happened?
We had a bye yesterday, so we didn't get to see the Bears
But
play.
we just had a double bye actually. We haven't seen one.
Double bye, man. This is our first bye of the season. We still have another one in week 11.
I haven't seen the Bears play in 2 weeks.
Yeah, COVID-19
Really?
precautions, man. It's crazy.
I've just seen the defense, that's it.
Alright. In all seriousness. You know,
It's no laughing matter. We suck.
actually, call me crazy. But that game, it sucked. It was right there for us. We probably should have won, etc., etc. But there were some encouraging signs. Can I say that, or am I gonna be attacked? Let's be honest.
No.
Here.
No, I agree with you. Let me just say one thing. We finally found a kicker. Alright? Cairo Santos is a go.
Bro, forget the kicker. Even that, that was good. He's been good, but forget that.
Bogus.
It was just. First of all, the offense actually had an okay game. Not great, but improvement. A lot of the stuff that that everyone was complaining about Nagy doing, substituting too much. He didn't substitute nearly as much yesterday. Playing Demetrius Harrison, Cordero Patterson, he didn't do that nearly as much. He's actually been toning it down a lot with those two. Miller, running I think it's 11 personnel, right? That's when you have three receivers and one tight end and one what's it called? One tight end, one running back with 3 receivers, 11 personnel, and he did that a lot yesterday. Because honestly, that's our best thing. But the problem yesterday was one drive by the defense at the end of the first half in which Chuck Pagano's sides, I think Chuck Pagano was playing the game yesterday like we were playing Drew Brees in 2015. We're playing Drew Brees in 2020. He doesn't have the ability to beat us deep, and yet this idiot keeps playing him like he's gonna beat us deep. That's why they scored the touchdown at the end, even though it should have been 13-3 or max 13-6, ends up 13-10. That flips the momentum. The third quarter is god awful in all 3 phases. And then fourth quarter, Bears, the best team in the league by far. They come through, they force overtime, but like I said, that bad special teams in kickoffs and punts. Nick Foles struggling, the O-line struggling, and a couple of bad calls by Nagy, even though overall he did pretty well.
And defense being on the field for a majority of the game.
Honestly,
is another one.
I know there aren't really, it sucks to say, moral victories, especially when we should have had that game. But I mean, come on.
I mean, the fact that we lost on a game-winning field goal in overtime in that game is like a tiny bit of a win in itself. Like, that game, we were down by 10. It felt like we were down by 54.
Yeah. And there's also one more thing. I mean, Nick Foles, and he's known for his comebacks. Would you be fine if all of our games, or at least a majority of them, maybe if we win or even if we lose, come down to the wire like this, like a comeback in a comeback fashion.
No, I hate it, man. I was shaking. Oh
Listen,
no. What
I
about
wouldn't care
Cairo
that much.
Santos?
I still like people. We're 4-0 against 500 teams and below, and 1-3 against teams that are above 500. The thing that sucks about this game and the Rams game is that these are probably two wild card teams that now hold tiebreakers over us. You know, so that's a big L for sure. I think I still think we're a playoff. We're borderline there.
No, we're a playoff team, but we're not going past the division round at best.
Anything can happen in the playoffs. Anything. In terms of
Yeah, I
switching
don't
back
know, man.
to Trubisky, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I've heard these rumors, and
The only
I don't
reason
think so.
I would support it, the only reason is because our offensive line is horrendous. And
But-
you need a mobile quarterback with terrible
I,
offensive line.
I could get that, but at the same time, I'll give I will say this about Foles. He's been slightly better, but not great. I say anytime the next 2 weeks, if he's playing really badly, do it. Because you can easily switch back.
Put Tyler
Yeah.
Bray in the game.
Like, I even think even next week, even if we lost, we'd be 5-4. But if we still beat all the teams we should, even if we lost to Green Bay twice, we could still be 9-7, 10-6. Forget about that. I at least want to see the continued adjustments Nagy did this week against the Titans, because at least then we should be in a close game again. And, you know, if we lose again, then whatever. It might light a fire under the team the rest of the season. Hell, this win might even light a fire. So 26-23, I mean,
I hope we play the Saints again in the playoffs.
I really do. I think we
I think
have
the
to.
Saints.
If Pagano doesn't play Drew Brees like an idiot, if he just focuses on Kamara the entire game, focuses on the short intermediate stuff, we probably easily destroy them.
it's literally all he had to focus on. It's not like they had Thomas and Sanders active for that game.
Right, bro. They didn't
They
have
have to worry
three.
about the deep
They-
threat.
They didn't have their top three receivers, and we were
Top
playing them
two.
shallow.
No, top two, but
Way isn't really top three, but yeah.
who was the third
Bro.
guy?
I don't know. That's what they said on the broadcast.
No, it
Yeah,
was
Marquez Callaway.
No, Troy Aikman's an idiot anyway.
Marquez Callaway is 4. Tre'Quan Smith's 3. Anyway, even if Thomas is playing, bro, Drew Brees ain't gonna be throwing deep on you.
Facts.
Whatever.
It was just frustrating to see that
Game was
drive, man.
frustrating, but it's not nearly as bad as it was a week ago. There were things that were better. The defense
I agree with you there.
could have done better, but honestly, there were like 3 times they were forced to start in their own field position. So you can't really ask much more of what they did.
Yeah.
That's another thing about Foles. He's a veteran quarterback, and it just frustrates.
There was a couple of times where he just held the ball
He just
way
took a
too
sack.
He's honestly
just
there is
taking
something.
back.
He's been getting scared when there's pressure, and that's not good at all. Because it's the
Exactly.
same thing Trubisky would do, and we were told at least Foles is a veteran, he won't do that, and he's been doing that. And I get it, the O-line sucks, but even like good QBs will at least not always panic when they're under pressure.
Exactly. I mean, I feel have you guys seen Pittsburgh's offense? I feel like we need to play like Big Ben. He snaps the ball and gets rid of it in in a matter of 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I think
could
that's
see
how
us
we'll
doing
start
that.
playing.
I saw it a little more often. I definitely saw more quick passes than the past few games. Like I said,
Yeah.
Matt Nagy
We can make it work.
He definitely adjusted offensively, 100%.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
against the good Saints run D, they have a good run defense. We got 100 yards rushing for the first time in a while. I think week 3 was the last time we had 100 yards rushing total. And then could have done better. Like Nagy could have done better, but it's getting better. That's all I'm saying. In terms of the Saints, they're 5-2. They don't look as bad as we thought they would after the first 3 weeks of the season. They need Michael Thomas though. They need him and Sanders back because if they were playing any any defensive coordinator with a brain wouldn't let Drew Brees do what he did last game. Wouldn't let Kamara do what he did last game.
Mhm.
I do think we will bounce back this coming week. Loss or win, even if we lost, I don't think we'll lose. Actually, I don't believe in the Titans.
I mean, as long as our rush defense stops Derrick Henry and forces Tannehill to throw the ball.
Rush defense yesterday was also much better.
There, yeah.
Roquan
yeah,
and Trevathan were on fire yesterday.
Yeah, especially Trevathan. Roquan's been having a hell of a year, but Trevathan stepped it up.
I'm saying, like, even if worst case scenario, I want to say even without this year, we have like a 3-year window, including this year, with the defense left.
Mhm.
So if things
How long
don't-
is? Maybe I don't know because we gotta find a replacement for Trevathan coming up. He's getting old. Only reason we kept him over Kotowski is because he's more of a leader type guy. It's the only reason we kept him. We need to find a replacement for him soon.
I mean, I know people were saying that. That's true, but like, we still have Igbonowie, you know? I don't know if they actually think he can be like a big time player.
He could be a solid player. I think he could be a solid player.
You know, like if we're talking about, let's start. So before the season, let's say through 8 games, we're probably expected to go like 4-4. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Probably 4-4. Probably, yeah. The only game that really we switched was the Buccaneers game. Everyone thought we'd lose that. We ended up winning. So probably before the season we expect to be 4-4. So technically it's better, but also it's
We gotta beat these teams.
yeah. Like in the end, you have to beat the good teams, or else you're just a slightly above average team. You're not.
And you end up like the Packers.
I mean, I would take a
The
NFC
Rams.
championship game appearance, but
True.
I mean, you can always flip things. Last year, the Chiefs started 6-4.
Yeah, they did, but their offense was fine. It was their defense, actually. But their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, got things going.
Yeah,
He got Terrell Suggs in a trade.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think it's easier to get an offense going than it is a defense. Especially with the personnel we have. Like our skill position is great. It's just little things that we gotta clean up. So I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on whether it's easier for defense or offense because I don't think it's really a big difference either way. Like it should be about even. But I would say like, it's the team. Maybe not at QB, but maybe not at O-line. But you can always game plan around it enough to where you're doing just enough. We were doing just enough the first few weeks. Last 2 weeks, not quite. I'm not gonna say if I said,
Our offense is average literally 20 to 22 points a game.
maybe a little more, but usually but not even like league average.
If they're going on like decent 10, 12 play drives and they put up 22 points, then I think
that's how the game started.
Gives the defense like time to rest on the sidelines. I think we can.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need to be fatigued the whole game. And I think there's one thing that Foles should learn. First of all, his communication with Nagy was much better this week, even though his communication set and his helmet went out.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and then
Patterson's biggest play in the game was getting a new helmet.
And then another thing is, I think Foles should get rid of that mentality that Bears are a big play team, kind of like. Remember his throw to Darnell Mooney, the 50-yarder?
That was great.
Yeah, Yeah, I feel like he's trying to do that good 5 times in the game. I think
No,
he should get
I
more
honestly
used.
thought it's fine how many times you're doing that. You need to take your deep shots.
Yeah, you do. But when your run game isn't really established, you have to take those short throws.
They could have, but I don't even. Like I said, the offense was better. It's not quite where it needs to be yet. If he keeps still doing, like, so yesterday, like we were saying, less substituting. There was definitely less substituting. More like trying to help the run game out. There was more outside zone runs, and like in general blocking was better. So it wasn't great, but it was definitely better. There's gotta, like, we took too many delay a game, false starts, etc. We need to clean that up for sure. That's coaching.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
execution. Come on, like that stuff shouldn't even be happening. First half, we were doing everything perfectly. Second half, obviously the third quarter was bad. Like, we're always bad in the third quarter, and then Wim's momentum killing, whatever the frick he was thinking, stupidity, like,
Undisciplined.
You had to mess him up. You had to give him the work real quick. So,
bro, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is man doing? What is my man's doing? Hey, bro, this guy snatched my mouth guard last possession. I'm gonna sit on the sideline, then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna smack him in the helmet. That'll show him.
oh my god.
That'll show
I think
him.
it was last year. I think it was Gardner Johnson as well. When they imitated Tariq Cohen.
Bro, the guy is definitely a trash talker. I mean,
Yeah,
He sucks.
that's the guy
That's
Michael
most,
Thomas
if not all,
punched in the
corners.
face, bro. He's a trash talker, but he's clearly winning these trash talks. I mean, he didn't do it.
Yeah, you can't let him get in your head.
Exactly.
He got the guy ejected. He got the guy a 15-yard penalty. That's exactly what you want. And then Foles throws that terrible pick. Like, the third quarter, just nothing worked on offense. Fourth quarter, things start working. It gets better. There's periods of time where we don't throw the ball to Allen Robinson. That needs to stop. Anthony Miller had a pretty good game yesterday. Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, and another thing, adding on to your their improvement from last week, I think it was the first or second drive of the game, and I like their up tempo. They played no huddle, and it helped them a little.
Yeah, I think slowly we'll keep increasing how many times we go up tempo. Slowly, and I'm fine with that as long as you start winning games with it.
Exactly.
I mean, more pressure.
Definitely more pressure. I don't think we had. Did we record a sack yesterday?
We had one sack. Yeah, the defense, like, it wasn't. The defense was fine, but it wasn't making big plays.
And when we needed
26 points is a
one.
bit too much. But again, like, I'm not gonna blame the defense. They were on the field for a long time in the second half, and they got the stop when they needed to. The first time in overtime and the last drive in regulation. Like, I know they gave up the field goal at the end that won it, but still, shouldn't have come to that.
Yeah.
Special teams, God, Cordell Patterson. I
He's
like
an
him.
idiot.
He's cool, but this is why I'm kind of okay letting him go. I'm okay letting him go. Besides the fact that we're more or less cap strapped, especially if the salary cap goes down, which it might. I think
it's just that kickers are now aware.
His 1 to 2 like good returns that have us at like the 35 per game isn't worth the like 3 that he has short of the 25.
15.
Yeah, Like yesterday, they tried. Didn't want him to beat them, and he played right into it. He kept trying to make a big play. That hurt us in the third a lot. That was like 2 or 3 possessions where we started really backed up.
You gotta be better.
At least Dwayne Harris looks competent returning punts, though.
Yeah, better than Ted Ginn, which I think he's gonna be cut.
He'll probably stay on because Wims got suspended. He'll just stay inactive every game. But like,
Yeah.
Riley Ridley time, guys.
Yeah, I was about to say. Well, I was about to say that. When are we gonna start playing Riley Ridley, bro?
Now, I mean, now that Wims is out, but honestly, the thing is, I don't think he'd be a number 4 receiver. We already have good receivers. That's not what we need right now. Like, if he's good, if he's good, that's great. But it's not like even if he's good, he's not gonna add a big dimension to this team.
True.
Exactly.
I don't know what else. I know people are gonna complain about Matt Nagy play calls, whatever. I think this week you really can't blame it for the most part. Last week it was bad. This week it was much better. Like I'm saying, there's still more than half the season left. Obviously these next, even worst case scenario, like I said, 6-4. Obviously the worst case scenario would be 5-5 going into the bye, but like theoretical worst case scenario 6-4, we should still be fine overall.
You said with a win against Tennessee and a loss against Green Bay?
We'd be playing Minnesota. I would be saying, like, if we lost to Tennessee, we beat Minnesota, we'd be fine. I definitely think we can bounce back, go 7-3 before the bye. I saw a tweet that was like, if the team
if we're 7-3 going into the Packers game, I like our chances.
Apparently they're saying like, if what's it called?
With more, they keep adding COVID cases. They're gonna add 18 playoff. Is that what you're talking about?
16, yeah. It would be. There would be.
8 on each side.
Which would mean we'd basically get in by default, almost.
True.
Yeah, technically.
It increases our odds of playing the NFC East team.
At the same time, bro, I would not want to be the 8th seed. If we were the 8th seed, we'd just get wrecked by Seattle in Seattle.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, look at our remaining schedule. The only 500 teams that we play, 500 or greater, is Tennessee, Green Bay,
and that's it.
No, Detroit dropped. They were.
I'm thinking about it this way, Idrees. Look at it. Okay, ready? We get the 8th seed, and wait. Then there wouldn't be a bye, right?
I don't know how it would work.
Well, the top 2.
I don't know if they would do by straight record, where they might put the NFC East team at 8.
Oh, no, I would love that. Yeah, do that.
Or if they would just do 1, 2. I don't think this will happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen unless they keep
worst case scenario. Look at our schedule. At Tennessee, hopefully we win. Host Minnesota on Monday night, we should win. And then a bye, and then let's just say we lose both times against Green Bay. Right, at Green Bay we lose. We come back and we win against Detroit and Houston. At Minnesota with a win. At Jacksonville with a win, and then let's just say we lose to Green Bay.
That would be
in worst case scenario. I mean, best case scenario, we could go 11-5.
I could see 12-4, honestly, where we only lost I'm trying to think of it like this: we could be somewhere between either of the last 2 years. So 2018, we had a 2-game losing streak. It kind of lit us up the rest of the year. We went 7-1. Or actually, even better, we were 9-1 the rest of the season after a 2-game losing streak. Last year, 2-game losing streak turned into a 4-game losing streak. We ended up 8-8. I feel like we'll be somewhere in the middle. I could totally see us losing a 3rd straight and then going still finishing the season 10-6.
Yeah, but we play Green Bay twice. Come on.
The worst thing about this is every time the Bears lose, I follow a few, there's Bears accounts that, go absolutely crazy. Jesus,
the Bears probably have the most bipolar fan base, and I'm guilty of being part of it.
But holy crap,
exactly.
again, this goes back to, I brought this up after we lost to the Colts. People were talking about how we're stuck in purgatory. Once again, even if we ended up as a first round exit team, and people think we'd be stuck with Foles. First of all, no, we wouldn't, because clearly that would mean Foles wasn't good enough. We'd have to trade up for a QB, and we will, or at least we'll try to. There's enough QB. Theoretically, there should be 4 QBs maybe. Whether you like any of them or not, that's a different story. But I'm just saying, they're there for you. I don't know, obviously Lawrence, whoever gets the first pick is gonna pick Lawrence. Fields should be top 3 also. Then Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, they should be for round 1 picks too.
What's gonna happen? Trevor Lawrence is gonna come back from having COVID, and he's gonna look bad, and then he'll drop to us in the second round.
Even if he does bad, he's still going number 1.
Yeah.
No, I like this timeline more. Give me Trevor Lawrence at pick number 22. Honestly,
if that happens,
that would be unreal. People are so sold on Zach Wilson, the guy from BYU.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I've seen him play. He's looked really good, but also I'm they're not playing good teams at BYU. They're playing pretty crappy teams. I don't know how sold you would be on him.
And there was a debate if BYU should be ranked higher than Cincinnati.
Absolutely not. Cincinnati has played good teams. Well, not good teams per se, but better teams than they have.
streets are saying that Cincinnati's gonna make the playoffs.
They're saying Zach Wilson. If Cincinnati made the playoff, that would be amazing. People are saying Zach Wilson would be amazing in Nagy's offense. He might be. But, obviously my number one preference is Lawrence or Fields, but they're not going to be available. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on Trey Lance at all. I'm not sure about Zach Wilson, but he's probably above Trey Lance to me.
What's wrong with Trey Lance?
I mean, I know he had a really good year last year, but he plays in the FCS. And it's just I feel like his numbers
Do
are
you remember who played in the
FCS
for North Dakota? Carson Wentz.
Alright, and you want us to talk about Carson Wentz? You want to talk about how Carson Wentz looks right now?
I
would respect you if you didn't watch the game Sunday night, but I saw highlights and oof. Oof. We'll get to that tomorrow, but my God.
Yeah. The highlight of the game was Travis Fulgham, man, and Boston Scott.
There's been one good FCS QB, right?
Mm.
Do you want to count
Cool.
Ben DiNucci? Ben DiNucci went to James Madison. Maybe you want to count him too.
There's probably just Josh Allen.
Jeez, the winds that day. Josh Allen wasn't even FCS, actually. Wyoming is FBS. They play Mountain West.
Is it?
They play in the Mountain West, the conference with Boise State and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so even then,
FCS QBs.
whatever. I say if Foles looks good the rest of the season, good enough to where you can keep him, to where you can be your quarterback next year, your number one target in the first round, assuming you can't get one of the top QBs, should be an offensive tackle.
Oh, definitely.
Even
It should be at least 3 of their picks.
Even if we win the Super Bowl, which I hope we do, we probably have to cut Massey, and we need to figure out that O-line still, because it's not gonna be the reason.
Get rid of everyone. Get rid of everyone. Trade everyone for literally a bag of chips.
I'm not even the interior should be fine.
Cody Whitehair and James Daniel, I like.
Ifedi, dude, people are gonna hate on Ifedi, but frankly, he's been mostly fine.
It's Bobby Massey and Charles Leno, right? That's the problem.
You know,
What?
on the Wildcat play, it was a snapshot, so I didn't see the play again. But the Wildcat play when Trubisky was in, like there were two guys free on the edge, and Charles Leno, I guess, runs past them and tries to block a linebacker on the second level that doesn't exist.
Charles Leno is the biggest bum of all time. Him and Bobby Massey are just like bum central.
But did you guys see that play where I know reminds full that time is running up?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Like, come on, we shouldn't have these issues.
Yeah.
You know, when Massey came out, Jason Spriggs had this really good block on Montgomery's like 35-yard run. And we were like, oh wait, maybe Jason Spriggs is amazing. And then he got wrecked on a sack later in the game. And we're like, nope. That was ridiculous. But
I think
anything else
we're
to add about
covered all of our rambling points, didn't we?
I think so. Sadly, we'll be back with you tomorrow, I guess, with the full NFL and college football recap of this past week.
Election Day special.
No. Screw that.
No, we gotta give them something to distract them from the politics of tomorrow.
Facts. It's like we're gonna be CNN. We're gonna be recording and we're gonna be like, oh yeah, and it looks like candidate X has won Florida. Nope, definitely not.
Right in watching the game as for president.
Now, Baba. Yeah.
Right in. Let us in.
All right, that'll do for today.
Mm-hmm.